Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the Wrestling Classic. Justin back with Arvy for the TWC Show, Rain City Toys. What's going on? How are we doing today?
I'm well, man. Just finished watching Raw.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah.
It was in Belgium, right?
It was in Belgium.
The home of the Belgian waffle.
Yeah.
It was early today. It started at 12 p.m. Guys, this is our second time recording. I'm just
Not our second time. We just cut it like 10 seconds in.
Didn't want to know, the people that know, if you didn't know if Belgium was a country or not, and you hit the trigger fingers to turn these cameras off. And that's why I'm laughing.
I knew Belgium was a country. I don't know if you knew.
You didn't know for sure, and you ended our recording. But it started today.
To be fair, when they said it's in Brussels, I'm like, oh, it's in Germany today.
Well, I thought that's what I was saying, because I thought it was in Germany. And then they're like, they're in Belgium. And then I thought for a second, I'm like, okay, I know France and Italy and Germany and Poland and Switzerland and Scotland and Ireland. I'm like, is Belgium a country?
Well, maybe if you played a little bit more FIFA,
you would have known. More Risk or something. But yeah, it started early today for me. I was actually shocked because I thought it started at 2 in the afternoon. It actually started at 12 in the afternoon here on the PST in Vancouver, Los Angeles time. And I almost did not start it right away. And I'm happy I did start it right away, because the first thing I started with was your boy, Jonathan Felix Anthony Cena.
Cena, yeah.
Came out there and he finally talked. He turned heel like 3 weeks ago, couldn't show up to Madison Square Garden. New York's not cool to him anymore. But no, he's like, I'm going to come to Belgium, because, you know.
Great country. That's what
it's a great country with great waffles. And he cut his first promo as a bad guy. So I'm going to throw it to you, like, how did you feel about the promo?
It was a good promo. I don't know how to take it right now.
How do you really feel about the promo? Because think about it.
It's too fresh.
Because I need you to think of it like this, right? He's been a good guy for at least 15 of the 20 years that he's been around.
Thank you for repeating the exact same shit again and again. Of course, I know he was a bad guy turned good guy turned bad guy. I know the history. All right, so you have to keep talking about it again.
He's on that Roman Reigns right now that I'm not a good guy, I'm not a bad guy, I'm the guy. He said, I'm not a baby face, I'm not a heel, I'm just a human being.
Well, he got me where it did feel like he broke up with us. I'm like, hey, man.
He dumped you.
He did. I'm like,
to me, I felt like I was getting yelled at because I've been that fan that's been disrespectful this entire time.
I went to the clubs and I never hit on other girls, all right? That's what it made me feel like. I never cheated on the man. I was loyal to this guy. But the promo was a little, it didn't, I don't know. It never hit. To me, it was good, but I was expecting the change of the jorts, the look, the song. But then again, he dropped in his promo saying, I'm not giving you guys nothing, which was cool.
So do you think he's not giving us nothing because he creatively didn't have the time? Because look, he didn't show up for the last 2 weeks. He's probably busy.
I could be right.
Could he just didn't have the time to creatively come up with something new? Or is it because he's like, okay, well, this heel run's going to be short. I'm going to be a babyface by the end of the year. Why would we change all the stuff? I'm just going to go back. Or do you think it was just like what he was trying to say? Like, why would I change anything for you guys? I keep doing all the stuff for you guys, and you guys, I told you guys I was giving you a retirement tour, and I was doing this for you, and then all you guys cared about was, well, are you going to show up here? Is he going to show up here? Is he going to do this for me? Is he going to do that for me? And that's why he's like, I'm not going to change my look for you. I'm not going to change my song for you. That's my voice. You wear my merchandise. I don't wear yours. Like,
yeah. Well, maybe the merch has to do with it, because he's got all the countries and where he visits, all the shirts.
Do you think that, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Do you think it's
so maybe a city would get offended, or a place like, hey, man, we never got
a Brussels, Belgium,
a Rhode Island shirt or something. But I wanted a new look. I think a lot of people wanted.
A lot of people did.
Yeah.
Our boy Daniel even messaged me, and he was like, hey, like, the only thing that really pissed me off is that there's nothing new. Yeah. It's the same look.
But I think it'll grow on us. Again, me being a Cena fan and him still wearing the, you know,
what if he walked out with the same? What if he walked out with full jeans? What if he walked out in a suit? What if he walked out dressed like The Rock does? In those little vests.
No one can wear what The Rock wears. No one can wear what The Rock wears.
And he's Hollywood Cena now.
Yeah.
Because like when Hogan turned, we had the whole going from the yellow and red to the black and white. And even like the color.
Maybe he didn't
even
want
the color he wore today, like it was a darker color, I guess, but it was just still
Well, maybe we're so used to thinking, okay, black is a heelish look. You know, Hogan's done it. So maybe the creative side of it was like, well, why do I want to just be another Hogan? Coming out wearing the black jeans, a black tank top, or black shirt, right?
Well, here's a little insider thing. Like, King Troy, who is the stylist for Seth Rollins, as you guys see Seth Rollins come every week and all these
It's the first time I've seen him wear like a regular suit.
in a while.
Yeah.
But he wears all these crazy outfits. He's all he'll wear the crazy shoes that are going viral, or like these crazy glasses. That's all King Troy. He's also styled Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair and a bunch of other people. And he messaged me today, and he's like, "Do you think they missed the boat of not having Cena like come out in a suit or wear something different?" And I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "Should I still hit him up?" I'm like, "Well, he said some stuff in his promo, but it doesn't mean there still isn't time for him to switch his look." And that's the other thing.
Well, maybe he's gonna win the title.
Maybe he will switch his look. Maybe he'll get so annoyed he will change. But it is weird if it's his last year. Maybe he feels like he shouldn't for his last year. Maybe it's a personal thing that he feels like, hey, like I want this hero run, but like, why would I just change myself? But let's talk about you for a second though. You're in City Toys. Is this like, how many Cena merchandise, how many Cena toys can you have where he's wearing shorts? The same shorts. You know what I mean? Wouldn't it be nice to have an exclusive of like this limited edition Cena?
Collectibles are different, toys are different, right? People, if they like Cena, they like Cena.
Yeah, but imagine there was a different Cena that came out right now. It's like when Bray Wyatt first did The Fiend, and then The Fiend toys were hot for a minute there because it was new.
Yeah, it was.
Imagine you had a John Cena in a suit.
Oh, no, not a suit. You want something different, not a suit though.
I need him in a suit.
No. Not a suit.
What else would you put him in? What's different?
I don't know. I'm not the creative guy.
Full jeans?
I was expecting something
come out there in
different.
sweatpants?
I was expecting something different, but I think in this promo, what was good is that he made like us fans of him also think like, hey man, what do you mean you don't like us?
It was funny because he came out and obviously there was a lot of boos, but that also was a piece of volume.
Which I was surprised though. I actually was surprised that he got a lot of boos right off the bat because people waited for the heel turn.
But I also was gonna say, like, I have to give the benefit of the doubt that they're in Europe and these foreign crowds are usually just louder anyways.
Oh, they're amazing.
And they're in
Brussels, shit on us.
and they were loud as crap. Yeah. They were probably looking for like, he's a bad guy, we're in this, we're gonna boo him. You still had the "Let's Go Cena, Cena sucks" chants. Those were still the "Let's Go Cena" chants were a lot less than usual. It felt like 2006 again when people actually did. There was a majority that hated him, and then like. The best part for me too was like, okay, like he's dissing everyone. He said we're disrespectful and we used him and he was a puppet to us. And even though we didn't like him, he kept winning. Then when he kept winning, then we still didn't like him. So then he started to give back and yada yada. It was like, okay, cool. He's yelling at me. He's yelling at people like myself who says he never changes.
You're victim
and he
number one, right?
Like he says he's a victim. I probably victimized him. But I almost thought it was gonna be like MJF all over again. And he was gonna say F the Wrestling Classic. But he was doing all that. But then when he was like, "And to you, Let's Go Cena people," and I'm like, oh, he's going after the people that are still trying to cheer him. And when he's like, even that kid over there, and they zoomed in on the kid. Yeah.
That was a good shot.
I immediately thought of the 50 Cent. Why is he fuck me for?
Why is he pointing at me? Well, again, when he started the promo, it sounded very scripted, right? You know, the basic, it's the fans' fault. I gave you guys everything. And I was like, come on, John, you're more creative than this. I don't know who wrote it.
It was a very simple reason to why he turned.
Yeah.
It also left you wondering why now. It left you wondering what made him totally drop everything he talked about. And he tried to play into like, you guys just wear hustle, loyalty, respect. I live it. Like he's still saying like, I'm still that person. But
maybe he did it now because Vince is gone and that's his boy.
Yeah, but it's just like I think to your point, like the one thing that was missing from this promo was like a little bit of depth of like, instead of just being whiny, how did you get here? Like, what was the moment? What triggered this?
It was basic. It sounded like a basic promo with a few cuss words.
Yeah.
You know, that people pop for. I think called some people jack-offs or Cena said a bad word or...
No, he swore a couple times. I don't know what. I guess the fans started swearing too because they were saying.
So I mean, it was a good promo. It was a good promo, but it probably also maybe he didn't want to overstep Cody and take the limelight because Cody came in for a few seconds and I felt like he left.
Well, and then they chanted Cody's name. So let's talk about it, right? I said this to you earlier, and I'm like, I hate that we're having this conversation because I'm gonna have to repeat it. At the end of the day, the way I'm looking at this and why Cena's promo isn't gonna be so great that it buries Cody, like that one time he came back and said all that stuff to Roman Reigns and Roman couldn't hang with him on a promo. Because even at that point, I don't think Cena was ready to leave yet. He was still want to be the top guy. You know, he was basically saying, I'm here part-time and I'm doing this better than you do this full-time. Like, that was a line Cena said to Roman. Like, you know what I mean? And Cody's out here being like, no, having John Cena part-time is better than having half the people here full-time. Like, he's saying that about Cena. So it's like, I think the whole goal of all this with The Rock, with Cena, yeah, they want to be in the limelight. Yeah, it's Cena's retirement year. Yeah, Rock wants to be involved with WrestleMania somehow. But they all know that the end goal is that, like, this is the torch passing to Cody Rhodes. Cena's going to leave. Rock can't be on TV forever. He already can't wrestle this year because he has other obligations. He's not... I feel like he's just always going to pop up around WrestleMania season. So it's like, Cody's there all throughout the year. Like, this is the new top guy. And I feel like they're all working towards that one goal. So anyone that's like, well, he could drag Cody, he could just like, we might see a little bit of that before you get to WrestleMania. Don't get me wrong, to hype up the match. But the goal is to get Cody Rhodes as the next top guy because Cena's out of here.
Yeah, and I think that's why probably it didn't hit as aggressively right off the bat. And we watched it again. Well, I was watching it again when you came by. So I watched it 2-3 times now. So every time I watched it, I'm like, okay, he was dropping little things, dropping little facts, but he was also like, he was calm while he was roasting everyone. Usually he's very energetic and he kind of goes at it, but we know he's better on the mic. We definitely do, and people understand that. But we don't
know. My whole thing about it was like, is it that he's better on the mic, or he's just been a good guy for so long that it sounded unnatural for him to sound like a bad guy? We haven't heard John Cena whine in 15 years. So to hear him whine and complain, you're like, oh, this is weird. You know, it's like when Snoop Dogg went to go sing like reggae or something, you know? It's like, oh, like, it's fine, but like, where's that West Coast rap and Snoop Dogg? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's when someone steps out of the element and you're like, oh, this is... Because he's not like a lot of other wrestlers. Like, a guy like Randy Orton or CM Punk, they have flip-flop between being a good guy and a bad guy so much that there's like a blurred line that even when they're a good guy and they're saying bad stuff, you're like, oh, that makes sense. Or if they're a bad guy saying good stuff, you're like, oh, that makes sense. Where Cena's been saying good stuff and I love the fans, Make-A-Wish kids, I do this for the people, rise above hate, all this crap for so long that now they're saying like, F you guys, I'm a victim, wah, wah, wah. It's like, oh, this sounds fake because it's been so long.
It's unnatural. He's an actor, right? He does movies. He's
but to that point, we've seen wrestlers leave professional wrestling, get back, go into acting, come back to professional wrestling, and then just feel like they're acting rather than being a wrestler. The Rock, for the longest time since he came back, just always felt like, we always joke about that. I was like, is this The Rock or is this Dwayne? Like, you know what I mean? Because Dwayne is basically The Rock now.
I felt that way with Batista.
You know, Batista.
When he came back.
Think about Edge. Think about Edge. I'm like, the whole time Edge has been back since his post-retirement, I'm like, his promos all theme like, he's like, most of them are like theater. Like, he's doing theater. Like, look at this. Look at the words I'm using. Like, that's what happens when they guys go to Hollywood and they come back to wrestling. And it's just because it just happens. Like, is that what you're getting with Cena then? Do you feel like it's too Hollywoodized now?
It felt a little unnatural. Again, it wasn't a bad promo. It was a good promo.
It was a good promo.
Yeah, it was a good promo. It's fine for the setup.
You thought it was a bad promo. Just say it was a bad promo.
It wasn't a bad promo.
Say it was a bad promo. Say John Cena cut a bad promo.
This guy always wants me to say stuff for no reason.
Say that John Cena cut a bad promo.
No, he did not.
Say that,
it wasn't a bad promo.
I feel like I walked in your house and you said, man, that was a crappy promo by John Cena.
I didn't use those words at all.
You said that was the shittiest John Cena promo
they were not recorded, those words
I've ever seen in my life. It probably is recorded. These are recording for like an extra 40 minutes beforehand.
It was a good promo. Again, I watched it.
It was a good promo or it was a decent promo?
It was a good promo.
Was it?
I would say it's better than decent. It was good.
Oh.
It was a good promo. So let's see where it leads up because he's going to meet him again next week.
I thought it was a good promo, but that's because I've always wanted to hear him say these things. Because that was always my thing.
But it made sense when he then started talking, like, I know we're talking about it again, but when he started talking about the fans that cheered me, you think I'm going to have a different look for you, a different song? I'm like, okay. Because I was expecting a different
Everyone was.
We all
That's
were.
when the topic of discussion.
So I'm like, that is pretty heelish. That is pretty, F you to everyone. So just because he never said it in a different tone.
What I do think we need to see too is like The Rock obviously wasn't there. We need to see the interactions between them. I don't feel like...
It was weird the fact that he did it with The Rock.
Yeah.
And now he's coming out solo.
Will we ever see Travis Scott again? We don't know. But like...
and
it's also
true,
to be fair, and they're saving it because I even had a buddy that's like, oh, John Cena's going to attack Cody by the end of tonight. And I'm like, oh, that's a possibility. I'm not saying it's not a possibility, but a slow burn. This year's WrestleMania is not April 1st to 2nd like it is usually every other year, 4th, 5th, or whatever.
we got a month
It's
left.
April 19th, 20th. Like, we got time. So it's like, even tonight, like, we didn't really see them have a back and forth. The moment Cena said, listen, kid, Cody's like, don't call me kid. And then basically just said, I don't want this John Cena at WrestleMania. I want the old John Cena, not this whiny bitch.
Yeah.
Okay. There was no like physical.
And that Cody comment felt more of like, kind of like a Rock comment. It's like, yo, this guy should have been with the Rock. The way he was dropping bars, right?
There was rumors. Obviously, I think Brian Gertz kind of like said that Dave Meltzer was yapping, but the word in the street was that Rock technically really wanted Cody to be the one to turn heel first. That was the original plan. Allegedly, I don't know how true this is. I think Brian Gertz, that's a Rock's guy, said that it wasn't true. It's all bullshit. But allegedly, Rock did want Cody to give his soul to The Rock, and then it was gonna still be, I think.
What were those memes last year? The Rock memes that were going around?
Yeah.
Like The Rock knew everything before it happened?
Yeah, the one after the documentary, like, oh, then I called Arvy and said this, and I called Nick Khan. I said, this would be a great idea. I was like rewriting the history of what happened last year at WrestleMania. But allegedly the idea was, okay, The Rock and Cody, and then Cena's the good guy. It's his last year, big deal. But then Cody didn't want to turn heel, and I think a lot of other people in the company were like, no, it's a Cody. Someone said it's a Cody audience right now. Like, right now, this audience that we have today, they're a Cody audience. Yeah, they like Cena and they like Orton, but Cody's the guy right now, so they didn't want to turn him heel. So the second choice was Cena, which seems so weird to me because the best thing you could have done is what you're doing right now. I didn't want to see a heel Cody. When the fans want to see a heel Cody, they'll tell us because they did an AEW. Well, they rejected him over there, and they wanted to see the bad.
I'm not gonna say they started booing Cody, but it got stale. Cody as a champion was becoming stale, but every time he gets on the mic, then you kind of forget again how good he is.
I feel like it also gets stale too because like he's here all the time. I think the reason why Roman's reign
he's on TV,
Roman's reign didn't get stale so fast all the time is because you knew you were gonna lose him for like 3 months and then he comes back.
That's our problem as humans, right? We see him so much, we just think, oh, we're bored of him. He's top dog. We want to.
And I'm the number one. So one of my biggest things that I believe in, one of my biggest philosophies that I personally believe in is I hate long babyface championship runs. So I shouldn't even be talking because I get bored of any long baby. That's half the reason why I didn't like John Cena. Because 2007 was torturous. Like, I hate long babyface. I like world champions to face adversity, lose the title, win it back. They win it, oh no, we gotta chase again. Like, that's the best stuff to me.
I don't mind the long title runs if it's the same rivalry over and over.
I don't like it.
With the guy.
I don't like it.
Now there's a bad guy or whatever, heel, he loses, on to the next guy, on to the next guy. It builds only for a month.
That's what I'm trying to say, and that's why it's not good. That's why like when there's adversity and like the champion loses, they don't. That's why I always use Stone Cold as an example. I'm like, Stone Cold was always so over because every time he won the belt, Vince was trying to screw him out of it. And then you had to go back and win it again. And we're along with him on the ride. If someone just keeps winning, eventually, I don't like fucking Superman. I don't like Superman. I like Batman. I like Wolverine. I like a hero with a little bit of darkness to them. You know what I mean? Not the white meat, super unstoppable guy that you know at the end of every movie or book is gonna survive. What do you mean?
Who's your favorite superhero?
My top 3 is Batman.
No, just okay, sure.
Wolverine and Spider-Man.
Cool.
Yeah, who's yours? If you say Superman, that's why you like John Cena.
No. Actually, I've never liked Superman. Gambit.
So random.
Beast.
That's also so random.
And Storm.
All X-Men.
Yeah. I love X-Men.
I love the X-Men too, but Wolverine was my guy. And then
it's cool. I just liked.
And then when I got older, when I started watching like Star Wars and stuff, I like Darth Maul. I like Darth Vader. So maybe I'm just a bad guy at heart. Yeah. But like, I started like I started appreciating Scar a little bit more.
The shirt you're wearing, just right now, as well.
So like, my whole thing with Cody is like, it got boring, but because this is good. Because what John Cena turned heel is good, it's making Cody's reign good. Once again, going full circle to my point, this is all to get Cody over and keep Cody over.
That's what Cody loses, promo felt like.
If Cody loses, he gets the belt back. We have the adversity. If Cody wins, they did the job and they got him over with a really good feud and he beat John Cena. Yeah. At the end of the day, this is all to make Cody the next guy. Because John Cena carried that for 15 years and now it's Cody's era. Because technically, in terms of like a baby face, we haven't had anybody actually own an era like John Cena. Even when Roman, when they're trying to push him to the top babyface, it didn't work because he was just a natural heel. And the moment he was a heel, we've had a Roman Reigns heel era, but I don't think a bad guy can be like the face of the company in that. It was Hogan, Bret Hart, Austin, Cena. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's mainly the good guys that are like the era. Those great bad guys. There was the Savages and the Pipers and the
So what
Shawn
about this
Michaels
Roman
and
era,
you know?
the Bloodline era? That you wouldn't count that as an era?
No, it's an era. I think it's like the end of the John Cena kind of era, kind of in a way. It's the beginning of the Cody era. It was a transition there, you know? It's like, what was the transition from the Brett and the Austin era? It was that Shawn Michaels won a babyface thing and then turned to a bad guy and then dropped the belt to Austin. What was the transition from the Hogan to the Brett era? It was Yokozuna. There's always that one reign that's a heel reign that makes the big transition. Yoko got rid of Hogan. Brett got over Yoko. Now in the Brett era. Shawn beat Brett. Shawn eventually lost his smile, turned to a bad guy, lost the belt to Austin. Now we're in the Austin era. Austin's doing his thing. Lost to The Rock. Turned to a bad guy. And then WCW closed down. They had no idea what the hell was going on. And then they're like, ruthless aggression. And then John Cena came out.
Yeah, John Cena was light for a while. But,
Yeah, you know?
but overall, good promo. It's his first promo.
Yeah.
But I think also 3 weeks had gone by, right? Or three? Was it
I think
3
it's
weeks?
3 weeks, yeah.
So I'm not saying the hype died down. It was waited a while to see what was going to be said. And I was like, oh.
The anticipation was to see if anything changed. Now we know that law didn't change.
He didn't come. He never showed up with anyone.
Yeah.
He never showed up. Like
The promo was very on the face, very formulaic. It was very, I didn't sell you guys out. This was a long time coming. Which is just weird because if it was a long time coming, so you were being phony for the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, like, that's the thing that pissed me off. Like I said, there wasn't a point where he's like, this was the moment I realized.
maybe the moment was when he lost to, who did he lose to? Before
Solo?
the Rumble. Maybe the Rumble was his
Solo, when he
moment.
lost to Austin Theory, like when was it the
Maybe
Rumble?
he
Maybe it was the Rumble.
No, maybe it was the Rumble.
Maybe
Right?
it was the Rumble.
That's right.
And then it does make sense because he got eliminated. They cheered Jay over him.
Did he hug him?
It's like almost like, what are we gonna do here then? Okay, so you lose to Cody and then you go wrestle Jay, right? Like if what's the moment? You gotta give
Maybe
us the
that's
moment.
what's sealed about him, that he was being phony this whole time too.
Or are we finally gonna get a promo and they're finally going back and forth and we find out that like the real root of because the best wrestling is one of those depth. Like the whole bloodline thing with Roman was because it's like it was touching on the fact that there was insecurities from Roman because he tried so hard to be the person and the fans rejected him that he surrounded himself with his own family and became their tribal chief. And he was secure in the fact that at least I have my family, I'm feeding you guys, I'm the top guy now they can't deny me. I have my wise man, like, you know what I mean? Like that, there was a story there of how he got to this place, right?
And it's hard to feel
with
that
Cena,
without
we don't have a
Cena.
story of how he got to this place. But maybe on the road to WrestleMania, when he actually has a conversation with Cody and it's back and forth, it comes out that it's like, I hate the fact that they like you as much as they like you. Because that's how much they used to like me. And that's when I realized these people are phony and fickle. Then it's like, oh, that makes sense.
But still not believable because we know how Cena is. He's so militant with everything he does. So for him
But
to
he got
figure it out,
broken by knowing that he was going to be forgotten. He started a retirement tour. He thought it was going to be all about him. And what are people talking about? Cody, Cody, Cody. Got under his skin. Oh, who's the champion? Cody. What's he desperate for? That 17th reign. Who has it? Cody. Like,
well, I guess let's just watch and see.
you want to talk about finishing stories, Cody? I need to finish mine. You know.
Yeah, let's see. Next, we got a month, right, to build up. So what he says again, it was good. I didn't, leave thinking, oh, this is one of the greatest promos he's ever done. It was a good.
But it's going to
promo.
be remembered as his first heel.
Yeah,
promo.
first heel. So
It did come off really whiny and bitchy and complaining.
yeah, he didn't.
But sometimes that's the case. Bret Hart, 97. I've been screwed by da-da-da-da-da. But that one felt so real. He pushed Vince. He was mad.
Yeah.
There was a good build-up to it. Austin kept screwing him over. Shawn Michaels kept screwing him over. At some point, he's like, F these guys.
I think well, who are we to...
Cena just didn't have enough building up to it.
We just had an opinion, but I think it would have been great if he would have just showed up with The Rock.
Yeah.
I think someone just had to show up
Like
with
when Roman turned heel, like he lost at WrestleMania.
But Heyman was still there, right?
happened, and
Heyman
then,
was still
then
with
he was
them.
with Heyman, and you're like, oh, he found someone that's backing him up now. Like he was, and that was like a beautiful thing. Like he left and he came back after a while, and it's like, oh, he's finally a bad guy. Because at the end of the day, everybody wanted Roman to be a bad guy.
Well, the topic of the soul, like the whole soul thing was like such a big deal. So he sold his soul and he just came back as regular Cena.
Yeah.
Just the impact
That's
wasn't
he
there,
should have
right?
came out in a suit. He should have came out Hollywood. He should have came out like The Rock. You know?
Something different. Or with The Rock, right?
Yeah.
So the soul was such a big topic, and the soul being taken away or him offering his soul, he came back and
Maybe not jorts. Maybe he could have wear those type of shorts again. Like just something different. And like, I don't know who's Brussels soccer team rival and wear their jersey or something. Like just something.
You gotta play FIFA, man.
You got to know if Belgium's a country or not. And then not stop the recording. Talk about Roman really quickly. It definitely seems we're going to find out this Friday on SmackDown what the situation is. Roman's going to be in the house. CM Punk's going to be in the house. Seth's going to be in the house. The last thing we saw was Seth and CM Punk had a great cage match. Solid cage match. Probably, did you like it better than Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher?
The Punk and Seth Rollins?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know the storyline.
And you didn't, people just weren't doing Spanish flies for no reason.
And I got to know, I guess, a few times where I got to agree with you. After watching the Jey Uso match today on Raw,
Yeah.
that's going to open.
Yeah, thank you.
He can't name it.
Gunther and Jey Uso is opening WrestleMania. Either night one or
and
night
the
two,
best
I don't
part is
know.
me and Michael Cole both thought it was a
crossbody, not a spear.
and you're like, no, that was a spear. I'm like, no, that's a crossbody. Even Michael Cole said it.
No, but it was a spear. He was going for a spear. That was meant to be a spear.
So I don't know who messed up where, but
And it's losing its unfortunately it's losing its steam a little bit. This Gunther Jey Uso thing. It was really good at the beginning. They had their first match. You're like, okay, now the redemption story. Like, you put Austin Theory and Grayson Waller involved. And it's kind of like, why?
and there's a mystery opponent coming.
And then I get that Gunther said, I'm going to make your life miserable every week until WrestleMania, but it's getting kind of boring. Like, you just attack him after every match.
Yeah.
It was cool seeing Gunther interact with Jimmy on SmackDown and kind of be like, oh, you're the mature older brother, even though like they're minutes apart, but like, you understand that Jay can't obviously Jimmy back to his brother, but it's like, okay, we know we're probably going to get Jimmy vs. Gunther on the road to WrestleMania at some point, but like...
But Punk and Seth match was great. Storyline was great. Like that.
And Roman's return was huge. None of the guys want to finish a match without ending the other guy, because as many times one the other one could have won. Mm-hmm. Even at the ending, Seth had the cage open, Punk was out, and he could have just left. And he was sitting there because he wanted to give him one last stomp to finish him and make sure he couldn't make it to WrestleMania. And then you heard the crowd get loud. And you heard it get louder and louder in the garden. And then Roman pulled him out. Like I predicted, I'm like, Roman's probably going to come at the end of the match, pulled him out, stomped Seth to repay him for the Rumble. And then was going to stomp him again on the steps, but saw Paul Heyman consoling his friend CM Punk.
Yeah.
And just kind of, first looked pissed and then kind of just smirked, went in there and beat up CM Punk too, because like, that's my wise man. You know what I mean? And
that was good. I mean,
main event, night one. Punk will find his way to the main event, even if it's not for
and not to like shit back on AEW. And the last time I felt like I was invested in the story was Hangman versus Omega. When the Bucks came, they stared at him.
And that really long story, that was from the beginning of AEW until Omega won the belt.
But like when
Hangman won the belt.
When it comes to obviously the moveset of Fletcher, and Ospreay, they're amazing. The talent is unbelievable. But
are you trying to be nice about AEW because everybody dragged you last week for talking shit about AEW?
I got so many DMs.
I saw the DMs.
I got DMs from people, not to this guy, to me. Hey man, you're an idiot. You don't know shit about wrestling.
Are you trying to not be JD from NY? Like, what are we doing here?
I was thinking of responding back to these people. I'm like, who cares?
Because wait a minute, why are you talking positive? You don't remember what happened in the Kyle Fletcher Will Ospreay match? See, you don't remember because
he dropped him from the top cage.
They did a Spanish fly. What weapons were used?
Shit, man, that's it.
See, that's what I'm trying to say.
I think I was just annoyed with my phone going off with those notifications. I thought it was likes, but it was hate DM messages.
One AEW thing. I didn't want to talk about Rhea, Io, and Bianca, but I was just more surprised about Bianca getting booed every time they're either in Europe or if they're in Puerto Rico. Foreign fans don't like Bianca Belair. And I think it's okay to have an opinion on Bianca Belair, whether you like her or you dislike her. Just like it's the same way you can like or dislike John Cena or Cody Rhodes or CM Punk or anybody. But I don't know, sometimes in these foreign countries when they dislike Bianca Belair, I think it might be a little racist. I don't know. As a person of color, I feel like I can say that.